Hi guys, Squall here. Welcome to another Transport Fever 2 episode 30 something. And in the last one, we built this monster bus station and we sorted out the bus network around Mablethorpe. If you remember, it was absolutely brutally rubbish, and now it is pretty kind of cool. It's covering the whole city. Make sure you're subscribed so that you don't miss future videos. If you're new to the series, there's a playlist so far of all the videos, and in the video description is a link to the map and the settings and mods that we're using. Goes all the way back to episode 1, when I think we started out in 1870 trying to get $1 billion, and here we are in the year 2049 in the future with over $20 billion to our name. It's crazy. But how's this going? Well, you can see it's massively reduced the amount of traffic on the roads around the residential areas, certainly in and around the network. There's still a lot of people choosing to drive. However, it's more or less a one-way trip now, which is kind of interesting. There's something interesting about the fact that all the cars are coming out of here when you think, hang on, there's a wonderful public network here. Why are they all driving out of this town? What's going on? Well, remember, they're making a two-way decision. They're making a decision about getting on the bus and then getting on the train down to Thatcham, and then whether they can get the train back again, and how easy it is to get to their destination in and around Thatcham, yeah, and then get back. And if you look at Thatcham, its network is actually rubbish as well. So it's a bit asymmetric at the moment, I think. So in today's episode, what we're going to do, as we did for Mablethorpe, and we sorted out a cool bus network for it, we're going to do the same thing for Thatcham, and then we're going to analyse the traffic, sort of the train between Thatcham and Mablethorpe, and also I think there's a network between Loughton, isn't there? Yeah, there's a long one that runs up here through Loughton and up to Mablethorpe. I suspect that leg will have to be dropped because there's a bit of redundancy in the network. If you want to get to Romsey, you've kind of got that way to go, or you've got this way to go, catching two different trains. There's a bit of overlap which needs to be just fine-tuned. But the main thing is what we're trying to do, what we're trying to achieve is this. We're trying to get this right down, and we're trying to get this and this right up. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get more people on our public network. So let's start off and have a look at Thatcham. We kind of had a look at it in the last episode a bit. It's quite different to Mablethorpe. First of all, the challenges are different. It's quite flat, so we don't have the hilly problem. What we do have with Thatcham, though, is a kind of the way it's evolved is a bit messy. First of all, the residential district is down in this south part here, and it's kind of overlapped our alcohol distillery, which is a bit annoying, but, there's nothing much we can do about that. It just means we've got trucks driving through the housing areas. But they chose to live here, right? It was there before they were. Not that they ever see it that way. It's like those people who go living next to an airport and then complain about the planes, It's that kind of thing. But it's commercial district and it's industry as... it's a bit messy, isn't it? There's a few things here. So the food, the commercial stuff, the food icons, they've kind of spilled out here into the conmat industry, where we can't easily deliver. And they've also gone east and mixed with the residency areas. So it's not ideal in that sense. There's not really a great deal we can do about it unless we want to go around deleting these things and hoping they grow over here. But I'm not proposing to do that. What I am proposing to do is give them a good bus network. Now, currently, the train station's here, and there's a bus station here, which I think we're going to redesign. You can see what's happening. People are having to walk around to get into the platform, and they're also walking off down here, which is interesting. But what I want to do is I want to kind of tweak this so they're not doing that, because all that does is increase their journey time as they see it. More walking, blah, blah, blah. So I think we'll have to redesign this. We'll probably have to trash some buildings around and make a bigger bus station. Well, not a bigger one, but probably just reorient it and tidy it up. So that's problem one. We know we want to have a shuttle between this and wherever we choose to put our bus hub. Let's call it that, bus station hub. Again, sticking with the kind of principle that we applied in Mablethorpe, I'm kind of eyeing up this area here for a bus hub. And the reason being is because this is residency. We've got a lot of residents here. We can afford to kick a few out just to make way for some stuff. But also it's the residents that we need to catch and take to work. So we need to get them up to the commercial district. We need to get them up to the industry. We need to get them between their own residency homes to this network here. And then we have a shuttle that goes through this high-density area, kind of goes one way in and one way out like that, something like that. That's what I'm proposing to do. So we've got the shuttle between the hubs again, and then we've got that X configuration going on. And I think that should solve it. I don't want to stick a bus station here, because a lot of these are very high-density homes, and it kind of looks cool. Like, it would be a real shame to come in here with a bulldozer. So we're going to have to go out into the suburbs a little bit, but I don't want to go too east because our X design won't work too well. That's not to say we couldn't go all the way out here and create, and still have that kind of X design, but it won't be quite as efficient as if we stuck it somewhere here. We'll also need to consider the road network. We've obviously got a nice juicy road going through there, which is great, and we've got one here. So I'm kind of thinking, if the bus station's there, we can create a link for the buses to come perhaps that way. So that through there, come through here, and then we have the bus station around here somewhere, and then put our connections in. Sound good? Yeah? Got better ideas? Well, I'm driving, so we're gonna do what I want to do. Lol. No, we're gonna build a station here, and we'll just see if it works. See if we can get something cool set up, and then see if it affects our bus and train population. Right, there you go. That's what I've done. I've just come in and just gone boom. We created a massive space. That should give us enough run to get our network going. But the bus station here, we're just going to kind of follow a similar design to this, in that we'll have like 10 platforms and then a nice spanning entry point so they can come in from either side, and we want them to feed out either side. I've also made sure that we've got... let's pause it in case the game starts to try and build back here. I've also made it so that we've got, high-speed roads with bus lanes all around this perimeter, and that way, whatever we build here, we can easily just make sure the traffic can get out and back onto the bus lanes and never get impeded by, public transport, as it were. So then we just need to figure out, actually, let's just flatten it just to make sure it's nice and flat, although I suspect we're not going to achieve that because there's a bit of a slope going on this road. This is higher than this by quite a way. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see it if I do that. So that's something to be aware of. What we want to do is have... Now, in the same way that I connected it last time, I had it jutting right up against this road, and that gives us that path connection. You see that? That makes sure that the vehicles can actually... the pedestrians can walk off the road and walk straight into the bus station. So it gives us, if you like, a free pedestrian draw into the station. Like, everybody, we don't need a bus stop around here because that is now a giant bus stop, and they can just easily walk in from this lovely high dense place. We did a similar thing up here, if you remember, although when we built it, of course, we're still waiting for people to move back in because we built all the roads out to the east. So we're still waiting for people to move back. It'll happen over time, but the same principle applied. They can walk from either side there, so when they start moving in, it will give us some benefit. Right, let's reconfigure this. Actually, probably want to move it. I don't suppose it matters. We can sort it out. Just get rid of that road. So yeah, let's start building. I mean, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 10. Is 10 going to be enough? I'm just going to make it 12. Actually, what might we make 12? 11 is the maximum, apparently. 11 is the most. Why 11? That's interesting. Right, I'm going to pull it back this way a little bit. Like that. But we need to make sure we've got enough access to come in from that side and potentially from that side, and then mesh in the middle and then branch out. So I don't want to come any further south, I don't think. In fact, I may have already come a little bit too far. Also, we may want to consider just having a road here, so we allow... We'll adjust that later, just so we allow more building around here, because we have trashed a lot, and we want to, put back what we don't need to take, kind of thing. Is that going to be enough? Let's try configuring the road and see what it looks like. Just thinking, what did I use on that one? Yes, I used a 2-lane road coming in, which was... Let's just see. We don't want them building on it, though, so we go for that one. That's what that road is there. And we don't want bus Yeah, there you go. That's perfect. So we have 2-lane coming into the hub, 2-lane here, and then a single lane going out into each entrance. Can't speak. Let's put it on that, and then, right, where are we going to come in from? We're going to come in from the diamond? Possibly from this road? I don't think it's going to let us... Oh, it will, actually. That's interesting. That is interesting. You can come straight in from there. Whether it's a good idea or not, that's a different story, but I kind of like that you can do it. Then what we're looking to do is probably have a single piece of road like that. I wish you, like in City Skylines, you've got a move tool, and what you can do is click on that node there and just drag it, and all these connecting roads move, and you can get some perfectly aligned roads. You can't do it on this game, but I really wish that move tool existed. But what you can do is you can start off by drawing that, and then do that. Like that. And that ensures they can come down to this junction and go in, or when they're coming back from here, they can just nip over there. Should work nicely, but we'll see. Just looking at this now, again, yeah, I think it is just a little bit too south side on the platforms. No. So let's just push it a bit further north. We want them big enough that passengers can queue, but not too big. The idea, like, if you've got a platform full of people, something's not right on the bus network, basically. Now, looking at this, I've just realised a problem. The problem is, we want this central road to be centred to the bus station. So this is wrong where we're coming in. I am making this up as you go along, as you may have worked out. I know what I want to do, but I haven't, pre-designed it. I'm doing it as I go along. So what I actually want is I want that to be something like that. That one is okay. What we now need is to have our separate road coming down the side here. Something like that. That can meet, well, it can meet there or there. I don't like that very much. Now the hill's starting to bite us. Let's delete that. There you go. Right. Now we can join it. It's making it slightly painful for us because of the slope, but, there's not a lot you can do about that, I'm afraid. All you can do is smooth it out so it looks good. There you go. Anyway, so what we're doing is we're going to connect that through to there. Like that. And then the city should hopefully grow back nicely here. And this is what we're looking for. We're looking for a platform between two significant bus lane roads and then a nice join in the middle. So that's looking good. These will have to go, I'm afraid. Get rid of those. And then the only thing to consider is our exit, which, following the pattern of this one, I had them all coming out the left side. You can exit in the middle, but only the platforms to the right of it will be able to. The buses will only be able to do that. They can't turn right and go that way because this is a one-way system, which is why I do it the way I do it, so that buses can only turn right when they come into this thing because this is the right half of a bus lane. You can build it with the left half, but what happens is the buses start to do donuts inside the bus station, which is okay because there are certain bus stations that design them that way, but I just kind of like to have it designed like this, which is why they're all exiting on this side. And as you'll see, there's not that many that need to go that way anyway, because we are to the right of the city, so it's not a problem in our instance. In this case here, we'll have probably one bus that needs to go to that district, the northeast, and one to the southeast, so we kind of want two to go that way. So we could, with that being said, we could design it so that we have a central exit and take them off that way and keep the east side guys coming out of that central exit, and everybody else can just go back on the road here. Look at the traffic. I'm hoping we can sort this out. Blimey. So let's put some exits and entrances in. If we put one on the far side there, and then we can have, let's see, 1, 2, 3. We can probably do one, we can do one like that, and they can just loop out onto here if they need to head out that way. We can either feed them into the junction, or we can just send them straight onto this road. It doesn't make a huge difference which way we do it. We want to have an entrance down here. We probably want to have entrances like every other one. Let's see, how many can we solve? We can probably do 5 safely. So if we go with that, and then that, and then that, that should more or less, because we've got the central one. Should we put that one there? Yeah, let's do it slightly asymmetric. The more we can keep them to the left, the more platforms to the right we can use. Think of it that way. So we'll do it like that. Then we'll have this one. This will need to be a single lane road now. That can go like that. That can go... Not possible. Yay! Why not possible? Why, game? Why? Okay, let's go out a little bit. And we get what we want if we persevere. So it looks a little bit awkward. We could potentially upgrade that, but whatever. It's functional. It doesn't look beautiful. It's functional, though. And then over here, we can have a single lane. I mean, you could even have a double lane exit coming off this. Let's see. So we could have one going out here for the traffic that needs to come out that way. We could have one potentially going out there. You could have one coming out this way. And if you wanted to, you could even do that. So you give yourself multiple kind of ways out of this bus station. Looks a bit crazy, but I kind of like crazy. Smooth that out. And there you go. Now, because these are got trees on them, it means the city can rebuild back here. So once this repopulates here, this will look quite nice. But I think that gives us all the options we need. Right, now when you start thinking about bus stops, which is always the interesting one, because when you do bus stops, you need to also factor in how the buses are going to get to those bus stops. I'm just going to delete, because we've got a lot of bus stops lying around, and this does get really confusing. So I'm just going to delete all of our existing bus stops, which is going to really annoy all of our sims. But otherwise, like I say, it just gets really confusing. Like, did I put that there for my new design, or didn't I? And then similarly with the bus lines, we're going to have to go and delete all of these. We'll just delete them out of here, like that. Buses, they're all going to change anyway, so it doesn't make any difference. Get rid of those. Like so. We'll get rid of that. Right, so the last bit of infrastructure change is going to be this. Now, as long as we put the bus stop back down, we can delete it and it'll just reapply. What I don't want, though, is I don't want this walking around. So if we can truncate this road a bit so that they just can go from here to here, that's the entrance there. But that's what we're kind of looking for. So what we'll do is we'll delete this bus stop completely. And we'll also delete that road there. So they've only got that short... Actually, we'll delete that, and then we can definitely decide. We don't want anybody building here, so we want a one-way like that. And if we just go from that entrance... that, and then go straight in like this. Okay, that kind of looks ugly, so let's just do a big road instead. Something like that is what I'm thinking. So they've got that fast access in. We'll delete that road away for a second so we can see what we're doing. 03, that'll do. At some point, we need to do tram tracks as well. We've not really done tram tracks at the moment. But if we can, for example, if you can push it up against that, they can more or less walk straight in from here, and it won't affect the way the buses exit. I'll show you what I mean. So we can click that, and we can delete this, and then we can build the passenger platforms backwards. So I have some long passenger platforms. Of course, that is assuming that we only want 3. Is 3 going to be enough? Yeah, because we're only shuttling anyway. The major hub is going to deal with the bulk of it. This is only about shuttling now. If this was your hub, you would need to have many, much more bus platforms here. But for what we're doing, this is more than fine. So we'll have an entrance here. We'll have an exit over here. And what that should allow people to do is walk from there onto the pavement straight in. So they're very, very close to where they need to be. And then over here, just to see, we can just have a single bus. Well, actually, just have a double coming in. Why not? Just have actually, because this is single, you can't actually change this. This is annoying. Single will have to do. And then coming out of here, do we want to go straight in like that? Or do we want to just kind of maybe curl a little bit? Do it there. I think that's a little bit better, isn't it? Yeah. I think that will work nicely for what we're trying to do. It looks neater. It lines up with the platform better. But now we need to focus on the actual bus stops. So this is the tricky bit. Bus stop. Right. Let's deal with... this is a bit of a pain, this one, isn't it, down here? So let's deal with this. And it's a pain because if you look at the road network is not great, and we've got trucks coming through and everything. But I don't like this diagonal section. I don't like this whole design. How are we going to get everybody down here? That's the question. Because if you put a bus stop here, the catchment area doesn't cover these guys. So that means these will automatically drive. Like, they just don't have an option. So it maybe what we do is, if we trash that road, let's think about this. Can we upgrade? I don't think we can upgrade this road. That's the problem. Yeah, because the way the game works is it tries to expand both sides, and it can't. You see that? Which is what I thought it would do. In other words, you have to get rid of the road to make this work, which means getting rid of those people. Same with that junction, though. We can't junction into that, so we'll have to do it this way. It's a bit more costly in sim terms. Now, can we upgrade any of this? Okay, I think that won't work because it's trying to push that building into the bus stop. If we get rid of them, will it work now? Yes, there you go. Just a matter of adjusting the displacement. There you go. Right. That allows us to potentially set this as an endpoint for our bus network. So we can come from the bus stop, and this can be the last stop on the line, and that will pick up anybody that builds here. The only consideration then is how they kind of get back from that. So the bus stop's here. We want it to cover this area, don't we? This is this district. So we want to come back and go this way. So again, we're going to have this problem upgrading this road for the same reason. Slightly frustrating, but there's not a lot you can do, I'm afraid. So now we need to build a road. Actually, what we'll do is we'll come in from there. We'll do it more like that. Can we convince these two to join? Just about. Look at that. Lovely. That means this can be the end point here, and then we can come back. I want to keep this side because I want that to be a separate one. So we've got if the buses are traveling down this way, and this is their end point, then they need a way to get back up there. They could jump over to that side, but I think we can probably just send them this way. If we send them across that way. The only downside is they've got to cross this major artery. To go through there like that, these will have to be upgraded. And then they will have to sort of turn. Actually, do you want them to go that way or that way? Probably that way. Okay, I think we've got the resemblance of an X. So if we come down here like that, that will give them a reasonable loop back to the start point, and they'll come out that way. Okay, I think we've got that nailed. So now we're going with a bus stop. We want to have a bus stop on either side here. That's our terminus bus stop, or the turnaround point. And then we want to have, so from here, you want to probably have something along there. And then something over this side. And then as we get nearer the bus stop somewhere, I think we said on this road, didn't we? And over here we'll have actually no, we'll go one up. We'll go there. Oh, game's auto-saving. I was going to go here, but I think we'll just nudge up slightly and try and catch this identity stuff. We'll get rid of that one there. Okay. So that is going to be our southwest bus stop. So what we'll do, we'll take our Thatcham buses southwest clockwise. Okay, and then this one can be Thatcham buses southwest anti-clockwise. So the clockwise would involve going from here, and then it's going to come down to there, and back up the other side. So back up there and there like that. Cannot connect all stations. Why is that then? It doesn't like Queen's Road, does it? Okay, I'm not really sure what it was trying to achieve there. Okay, it's got the right there. Yeah, so that means they can basically go 1, 2, 3, end, 1, 2, 3, end, which is what we want. And then coming back, we're going to go from here, and then we're going to come the other way. Like that. And that gives us our southwest bus run. The only thing to note is Queen's Road. There's something weird about Queen's Road. I think I know what's happening. I think I'm clicking this, and it's the old bus station it's not got rid of yet. That's what's going on. There we go. That's better. And the important thing is it's using the road network that we want it to use. Now, the platform is obviously open for debate, but what it's done by default looks pretty good to me. We want to have the clockwise and anti-clockwise using that same road, and then the two platforms off it. And then the next one we use these two. So I'm happy with that. So let's focus our attention on the northwest bit, which is up here. This is a bit more tricky, this one. So we've got a nice fat artery road coming out of here, and we've got a nice road and a nice road there and a nice road that way. So that's not bad. The only problem is going to be, where do we want to actually terminate, and can we actually get everybody in this catchment? I don't think we can, but we're going to try. I think we need to be over here somewhere. We've got to have a bus stop out here, and we've got to kind of loop like that. That's what we're aiming to do. This is quite a big district to cover, this one. So if that's the bus stop here, then our first one needs to be probably somewhere around this mark to get everybody in this district. So we'll go with that. And then we're going to be looking to kind of come out this way. So our terminus is going to be probably up here with another one in between. So I'm not sure how we get there yet. But I'm thinking, can we put our terminus here? Will that do if we do that? I think it will. Is the city going to grow out more than that? I don't know. I'm not sure about that. Not sure if it's going to push out this far. But if we assume that it will, then that would be our turnaround point, which means we then need to join. That's just nasty. Like, go away. We just want to do that, and then we will probably want to come in like this. So we need to have the road back, basically. So I just want to make sure we've got a nice arterial road to come back on. There's our bus station there. They can come down here. Don't like that road. Don't like that road at all. Do we want the buses coming back that way? Yeah, I don't see why not. I think that's fine. It keeps them within that loop, doesn't it? So we've got stops up here. We've got stops down here. We need to get them over to this district here now. So there. Anywhere around here, but obviously this left side is preferable just for the route we're going to take. So I suggest probably there and there is going to catch that run through there. And then coming back again, we need to catch this lot. So the return path is going to be down here. So we almost certainly want to have bus stops there because we've got that bit, then that bit. And then we're just looking for something on the return down here. So probably somewhere around here would do nicely, I think. Yeah, cool. Right. So we'll nick the name of that. This is going to be the northwest. So we'll do that. Then this one's going to be anti-clockwise. We'll do that. And then we need to pick a color, and this is where it really starts to get tricky. So we'll go for a light green and a dark green, because why not? Right, so this is the clockwise one. So we're going to come out of the bus station. We're going to go to here, 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 and back. And then from the northwest, anti-clockwise, we're going to come from here. And we're going to go literally the opposite way. Like that. Then the only thing to do is just check that they've taken the road we want them to. And this one doesn't follow the road I thought it would. I would have thought they would carry straight on, to be honest. Might want to waypoint that and just keep them coming straight this way. So if we just quickly waypoint that and then say after Albert Road, actually no, you're the anti-clockwise one. After Albert Road, going clockwise, go there. And then coming back again after Queensway, go there. There you go. That's a much nicer looking line, isn't it? More predictable. And then the last thing is to come here and make sure that they're doing what we think here, and it's clearly not. So at Upper Thatcham, we want you to be on platform 4, and we want you to be on platform 3. And there you go. And that's the northwest done. That won't have any buses on it yet, which reminds me, what buses do we have? Let's have a quick look. Looks like we're using some pretty old stuff. I think we're going to have to upgrade this lot. So we'll go with... What bus should we have around here, guys? Should we have the Maz again? The Maz does quite well. Quite like the Maz. So we'll have the Maz. 6 of them sounds... 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Sounds okay. You should be okay. Don't want to run too many. And then the light blues, we want... Actually, they've got the big right cars, but they won't need that anymore. So we'll downgrade them. And then coming out of here, we will buy another 6. And we'll colour them light green. Another 6, and we'll colour them dark green. Okay. We can unpause that. Right, I shall build out the northeast and southeast side because you don't need to watch me do that. You know what we're trying to do, but I'll just show you in a second what I've actually done, and then we'll build a shuttle. Okay, let's have a look at what I've done. As you can see, it's all looking rather nice, isn't it? Look at that. Multicolored stripe. Like looking at one of those network cables in a network connects all the little twisted pairs coming in. Look at it, it's beautiful. As you can see, like the west side vehicles are indeed using the left side here, so they're coming out that way, and then the eastern side too are using the right side, which is brilliant. Up in the northeast district, what I did was I deleted a couple of little roads around here so we could have a nice straight road going through around that district, and I built that road down there to connect to these. So we've got a lovely loop which picks up just about everybody in the northeast and brings them back that way. In the northwest, you already saw what I did. I put the stations down. There's the line going through there and coming back where we want. And then in the southeast, we've got this lovely loop coming around here. And then the southwest, we've got this loop. So we've got the 4 loops that we want. And then additionally, what I did for the shuttle, I created... Actually, I just noticed there's a problem there. The shuttle buses are coming into the same platform, which simply won't do. Thatcham sidings. You can go to platform 2. There we go. That's fine. Yeah, they're coming in there. I've also stuck the right cars on that because the expectation is for a shuttle you need more capacity. But I didn't build any more bus stops for the shuttle bus. I just reused these here, the London and Albert Road ones. And that gives a little bit more options as well. So anybody coming in from the southwest that's going to hit that station there, and the same with the kind of the northwest, they can hit that station there. What that means is they don't need to go to the hub. If they're trying to get to the station, they would get a bus here, come to London Road, get off, and then catch the shuttle straight into Thatcham Sidings, rather than go all the way to the hub and then back out again. So by using the same bus stop, it gives them that extra option. And it also means I don't have to build any more bus stops. Other than that, I think all I did was just change this road here. It used to come out there, and I've just thought, you know what, I'll just join it in here and make that a big road through there. Other than that, that's pretty much it. We just now need to sit back because you can see all the buses are now kind of chunked together. The last thing I haven't done, which I need to do, there's chaos at the moment. It's going to take time for this to pan out. There's too many buses clustered. The last thing that I like to do, well, 2 things really. Number 1, which I've already done, is make sure, and I have said this before, make sure you don't have any truck stops on a bus route, okay? Always they can use the bus lanes, that's fine, but they will have to wait behind buses when they stop. But you don't want the buses waiting for the trucks, so always make sure that, like this, your truck comes off the bus lane road and just pulls into a side road and drops, because they do sit around ages waiting to drop stuff, and you don't want to hold up passengers ultimately. The other thing I like doing is then coming into here to regulate our service. So we just go through each of these, make sure when you get to the main bus station at Upper Thatcham, just click load till full, and then just bring that down to like 30 seconds usually is enough, and just go through each of these in turn. Make sure you wait for full, 30 seconds, and that will just regulate all the buses around the network. Right, so now that's all in place and we're waiting for all the buses. You can see they're all here clustered. We're waiting for them to spread out across the network and the sims to get used to the new bus routes and everything to settle down. Just take a bit of time for the changes to come in. Just want to quickly look at the bigger picture of our network, because what the situation that we've got here, and I mentioned this at the start of the video, we've got a train line here that shuttles people from Mablethorpe to Thatcham via the train, okay? And this is the line that I really want them to use. Instead of getting on this road, I really want them to take this line here. Coupled to that, this yellow line over here, which is it's not Thatcham buses, it is the rail network, Bradford Mablethorpe Packs. So this is coming all the way down from, this is quite a long run, Bradford, comes up through Romsey, and then comes this way to Loughton Exchange, and then goes on to Mablethorpe. Now, that, if you're in Mablethorpe or want to get to Mablethorpe, that takes you out of your way and through another station to get down to Romsey. If you're trying to get to Romsey, you're more likely to get the train from Mablethorpe to Thatcham, because it's a much shorter route, and then get on that orange line there, this one, whatever this one is. Where is it? That one. No, that's a Conmat line. The light blue one. Where's the light blue one? There, that one. You're more likely to get on that one, which goes from Romsey to Thatcham direct. So there's a shuttle here, and there's a shuttle here. And between those two, you can easily transfer between Romsey, Thatcham, and Mablethorpe, thus lending this yellow line. It's pointless it going to Mablethorpe. It may as well just go to Loughton and serve as the extended branch to Loughton. So what I'm thinking of doing is coming into this line here and basically just removing Mablethorpe from the equation. So we'll stop at Loughton Exchange, which is this one, which means we need to remove Mablethorpe and Sutton, and then we'll need to remove one of these because it can't stop in both anymore, and just do that. That's what I'm thinking will be better. So we've just taken away that extra passenger run there. We'll leave the track in. We don't know if we're going to use it in the future for something else. We are paying a bit of money, but we can afford it. you might want to just get rid of that if it's disused, and you're definitely not going to use it anymore. But I'm just going to leave it and keep my options open. I want to see how the network settles down now, because I'm hoping that we'll have more packs on this yellow line, because now the people from Romsey and Bradford are going to get on that train if they want to go to Loughton, and it'll be a quicker service for them because it's not now going to Mablethorpe. And people that do want to go to Mablethorpe can use this shuttle-to-shuttle thing. And because they've got great bus connectivity now in these stations, they shouldn't have a problem doing it. We do obviously need to tackle Romsey and then, Bradford and Lee and, you know what I mean? It's never ending. But hopefully we'll start to see some effects on this. I'm kind of hoping we won't see quite so much traffic. And the main thing I want to see an effect on is the destinations. It was the thing that we looked at the beginning. Within Mablethorpe and Sutton, we can already see an increased usage on the line. I think it used to be on 2 or 3%. That's already on its way up. Those going down to Thatcham currently, which is here, is very low, 6% line usage still, so hopefully that will start to change soon. In terms of work destinations, 6% going to Thatcham, 13% Mablethorpe. So things are improving. Perhaps not as quickly as I would like, but then, I don't know how long it's going to take for all this to filter through. There's a lot of traffic here. There's a lot of Sims sat in cars, and until they get back home and reassess their life and whether they want to sat on this road forever, we're not going to see any measurable improvement. So it's going to take probably a year or two for it to kick in. The other thing is this side road here. As you can see, there's like 400 private journeys coming down through this from Loughton, is it? Yeah, from Loughton. So if you click on Loughton and see where the heck they're all going. Loughton to Loughton, 3% line usage. And we know why that is. We've just been solving the problem. It's the bus network. Loughton presents a little bit of a challenge because it is hemmed in by a hill, it's hemmed in by a river, it's got industry around it. It's very kind of awkward, Loughton, and it's going to be tricky to try and put a bus network in here, but we'll have to do it because 3% sucks, right? But look at this. Going to Mablethorpe and Sutton, the line usage, it was pretty good because they were able to get on that train. They're now no longer able to do so. So we do need to consider how people get from Loughton to Mablethorpe. And I think possibly once we get the bus network here, I might just put a shuttle in so that Mablethorpe and Loughton can get to each other. Otherwise, what will happen is this road will become very, very busy for the same reason. Because they can't get there right now. They've got to come down here to go back out again. So we'll probably just put a shuttle in for that. And I think that'll work. But in terms of going down to Thatcham, we've got decent line usage. Not as great as we would like. But again, I think that's down to buses. But, it's getting there, I think. It's definitely getting there. We've got good line usage now across the network. We're going to be losing money on the buses, but hopefully we're bringing more packs where it counts. We're bringing them to here. That's what we want to see. We want to see good numbers on this network. And thus this line, which is currently running at a huge loss, this shuttle, we're losing money hand over fist because they're all on the cars. Hopefully that will kick in. But yeah, that completes the bus network for the two stations. That was what I wanted to show you in this and the previous video. Now we just have to wait for the effects. Offline, I'll probably go and create the bus network here, and then we can examine, what effect that has on the whole system in a future video. But we also need to sort of turn our attention back to, Mitchell Dean Goods now. As you can see, that the goods network has massively kicked off, and we're not really moving much of it. And the reason is because of the what we stuck on here was just a very small shuttle train which is no longer able to cope. It's only going point to point. Do we need two of them? Probably just get away with a bigger one, I would suggest. Might have to put a bigger locomotive on it, but I think what we can do, we'll just pause the game a second. I think what we can do is they're box cars, aren't they? We can just come down to here and we can add some more box cars. Take that up to 317. Just make sure it's got the right colour. And hopefully, if we caught that before it finished loading, yeah, we've got an increased capacity. Hopefully that can deal with that problem because our goods network is properly kicking off now. Oh, 180 out of 260, that's interesting. Why didn't it fully load? Yeah, it is struggling. It is... I think we may need a different locomotive, guys. I don't think that one's cutting the mustard anymore. But what we can do is look at bringing in something. Well, we don't need the speed. Fake. I love this. We don't need the speed. But I think we've got that at the moment, which has 809 kilowatt hours. Tractive one's 77. How much does that cost a year? For about $500,000. So for 1.1, we can go all the way. We get a lot more power out of that. So 1.1 million, that's quite effective. We don't need the top speed, as I say. 1.3 to get the power of a 246. I think that would be a good choice. 1.1 million to get almost 2,000 kilowatt hours of power is pretty good. Can we better that? You see, all the electric ones, way more power, $2 million. I think that would definitely haul a lot better. These are arguably too expensive. We don't need the high speed. I think, yeah, we'll just go with that. We want to get them there as quickly as possible. Did that change that? I don't think it did. We want to get them there as quickly as possible, but don't want it to be too expensive. Let me remove that. Let me add you right to the front. Hold shift and click on it, and it should do it. And we'll just recolor it purple to make sure everything's hunky-dory. Wait, what? I didn't. Click on the buy button, modify. There we go. Sorry, just having brain issues right now. There we go. That should definitely pick up speed a lot better now. And, you know, with all those cars on the back, I think that should be enough to shuttle between point to point. I don't think we need to spend more than $2 million on that. So that's working nicely. Coming down here, let's just have a quick look at what's going on with that. That's working okay now, which is producing the slag for this thing. That's got a store of slag. It was starting to run out at one point because this wasn't getting enough coal. And what I had to do was, there was actually an error here. Remember, if I put ships here picking up coal, what I hadn't spotted was this was missing. So this was not connected to this, and offline I quickly noticed it and put that road back in. Because zero coal was coming out of here, basically. Whereas now it's starting to load up and move. So that fixed the supply issues that we had with coal. And then, let's see, down here, we've got that kicking off nicely. Yeah, the network's looking pretty decent. That's not able to get all the logs that it needs, but we kind of know that. But it's producing enough tools for this thing. This thing is not... Actually, this thing... I know what we need to do. Yeah, we need to put more tools into this, don't we? I said that in a last but one video. Henley-on-Thames is getting tools now, but this needs an increased demand. So, yeah. In the next video, I think what we'll do is we'll put tools into Ludgersaw, because it needs a few more, because we cut it off. So we'll increase the demand on that, but that will then need more logs. So we're going to have to figure out how to get more logs into this thing. That's it for this video, guys. I've talked way too much. Thank you for all your support. Special shout out to the YouTube members. Thank you very much for being a member and supporting the channel. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to share with your friends. Have a great day. Until the next one, guys, take care. Happy constructing.